Now we have talked about the content here. I hope you are clear about the content here. Now we'll discuss another very important thing that is called the distribution. In distribution, the initial part is the preset. So what is the mean of having a preset here? If you just click this preset here, you can see a pretty, the white a rectangle. That means having a lot of trees. I mean, if you just click here, yeah, now you can see. Oh, I'll make it here. I'll just click here. If you just click this, the preset here, you can see, the white patterns and the black patterns. Usually, black patterns means that area does not have any, the vegetation growth assets. Only the white area. So in a particular scene, a preset like this, you'll be seeing that the white area does have these kind of assets or the the vegetations, and the whole other area will be blank, and that means a lack of trees or vegetations. So again, in G5 render, you are able to apply this kind of a the presets from the D5 itself, or maybe you will be able to custom import it from your desktop, or if you have the any kind of a the black and white maps, so you will be able to import it here. And here you have a couple of options: stretch, UV, and the tile here. So if you just move here, you can see stretch, and I'll make it UV, so it will change the randomness here and the tile here. Okay, I hope you're clear about it. I mean, if you want to have more randomness into your cluster, select a cluster like this, and it will, have a pretty good thing. And now what I'm gonna do is I'll just decrease it, because I mean it's pretty annoying when you are having trees perpendicular to the surface. So hope you're clear about it. I mean, in previous video. Okay. Now here you have another option. If you have stretch, I mean, you can increase it or decrease it, the size of the stretch. And you have the offset, you can rotate it. That means this, the preset will be stretched from here. Now, if you just click here, it will be automatically synced between the both option. Now you can see it will be, interrelated. And here you have the offsets, similar to when you are, this kind of a scenario is very similar to when you are applying, the map type to, the material, texture maps, and the rotation. Okay, now let's move on to the second option in the distribution, that is called the density. So now here says 2 pt per 100 meter square meter. That means two number of model will be appear in a, the particular area contains 100 square meters. So if I just increase it to maybe a certain level like 115, now we can see very dense. Now again, hope you are clear about it. In my previous video, I have mentioned that the collision volume and the density have it does have some kind of a relationship here. Now think about it. Now if you just decrease it to a very certain level, maybe 20, now see what happened here. It's more densified. Okay, now see what will happen like this. Now it has very less number of the assets here, because my collision volume is so much high. So that means even though you are increasing the density, but the collision volume is so high, that means you don't have much the densely populated assets here. In order to do that, better to have maybe 100 collision volume. Now it's pretty good here. Now you can maybe decrease it a bit. Okay, and I will rotate it. Now it has been at a very random. Okay, hope you're clear about it. And the second option will be the cluster size. The cluster size will be the the size of the group or the cluster formed when the scattering models. I mean, if you have a larger cluster size, the bigger cluster will be. Okay, hope you are clear about it. And this parameter can be able to, simulate, for example, if you want to have a clustering of trees, then this is the option. You can increase the cluster size here. Now 7.5. And here you have the cluster noise. That is actually the meaning of the randomness when forming clusters. So even though you are using presets, this will be help to use a lot of random clusters, increasing the value. That means it will make the edges of the clusters look more natural. So those things can be do if you just increase the noise here. Now uh, these kind of a cluster size and the cluster noise will be a bit very difficult to identify through tree types. If you are having a very small area, like very maybe the grass type or maybe any kind of a small plants, then you will be able to identify the cluster size and importance of the cluster size and the cluster noise. Hope you are clear about it. And the cluster noise will be, we have talked about it, and we'll talk about the cluster blur. The cluster blur is actually the merging of the edges of clusters. I mean, if you're increasing the value, I mean, it will, automatically converges the cluster boundaries, and it will reduce the, the delineation between the clusters and the create more organic types. So again, just remember, if you are increasing it, I mean, if you have pretty large area, or maybe if you are using a lot of assets, there will be, the lag that can be happen to your computer. So if you increase it, that means more randomness and the more accurate and the more organic transition between two different kind of assets can be happen here. Now in here, it will be only showing you the one type of assets here. But if you're using it for like lawn or maybe in the backyard, and if you're having, so much of plants, then this options will be come up with the handy.